Oh my goodness, did you really click on this video? Oh, come on, you're the best, you're awesome. You know what, just for that, you get a bonus video, right now, bonus video, as a way of me to say thank you. All right, here it is. Antarctica's Tornado Alleys. Let's go. And that's all for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. Yeah, guys, that was it. I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, Antarctica's never had a tornado before. Because, you know, yeah, it's really cold. It's like really cold there. But you know where it's not cold? Africa. Alright, so let's talk about Africa then. Yes, Africa. What do we got? We got the Sahara Desert, which is where the hottest temperature ever recorded was. They have several jungles. And there's the African savanna with some really cool animals. They got zebras, elephants, rhinos, giraffes. They got the pyramids here. Do you want to know what else they have? Oh yeah, that's right. Penguins in South Africa. All right, you know what, guys? I'm done. I'm done narrating. I'm packing my bags. I'm flying to Cape Town, South Africa, and I'm going on a 9-month safari. I mean, you just heard me describe it. This place basically has everything. So yeah. All right, everyone. Wish me luck. I can't wait. It's gonna be such a great time. Oh no. Are you kidding me? Really? Really, dog? Yeah, that's right, y'all. Africa's got them. They've got those pesky tornadoes. But pretty much all of them are in South Africa. So in today's video, we're gonna be talking about the Tornado Alley of South Africa and all of its most significant tornadoes. Let's get it. To start off, one of the earliest recorded tornadoes in South Africa's history was the RUDPORT tornado, which took place on November 26th, 1948. The tornado struck at 6:05 p.m. and pretty quickly, over 500 houses were destroyed by this tornado. After this disaster, the mayor of RUDPORT at the time, R.D. Corlett, said that disaster, sorrow, and death struck RUDPORT. It took a few minutes for calamity, terrible in its consequences, to render people homeless and reducing a struggle of a lifetime to naught. This tornado injured 40 adults, 20 children, and killed 4 people. Luckily, the cries for help from the citizens of RUDPORT were answered at a rapid pace. The Indian community in the area helped out by donating blankets and other essential supplies. Many organizations such as the Red Cross, VAD, and St. John Ambulance assisted and provided aid for people all over the country. After the tornado, RUDPORT became somewhat of a tourist site because people from all over the country came to visit to see what all the damage looked like. But some people arrived to the city with malicious intentions. Some people arrived to the scene and immediately, not gonna lie, they were trying to loot up. There was a pretty decent amount of looting going on, as many items from several destroyed houses were being stolen. Due to the strong winds, there were actually several denuded chickens found a couple kilometers outside the city. And by denuded, I mean like the skin of the chickens was literally stripped off. On a lighter note, the South African government, along with the other organizations that I mentioned earlier, like the Red Cross, VAD, St. John Ambulance, raised close to £250,000. Since prior to 1961, the currency in South Africa was still pounds. Very wholesome. Next up, we have the ALBERTVILLE tornado of November 30th, 1952. This tornado struck in a town about 20 miles west of Johannesburg, which happens to be the most populated city in South Africa. This was a violent tornado, and as you can see from this newspaper clipping right here, over 30 people were killed and at least 500 were injured. Many cars were lifted up and thrown at altitudes of about 100 feet in the air. Just like with the previous tornado, there was immediate support from the local community. Emergency casualty stations were set up by doctors and other first aid workers. Firefighter units arrived to the scene with searchlights, and police as well as other volunteers meticulously searched through the wreckage to recover any injured civilians. There's a quote from this newspaper that directly relates to this dire situation. One helper said, "We are not worrying about the dead. We are trying to save the injured. We have no idea how many are killed." Again, let me reiterate, this tornado happened only 20 miles outside of Johannesburg. But luckily, since the tornado only covered a very small area, there were no casualties outside of ALBERTVILLE. So I guess that's something to be optimistic about. Now we're going to jump ahead about 37 years to March 20th, 1990, in which a tornado touched down in the city of Welcome. This was a multi-vortex tornado given an F4 rating. and it led to the destruction of around 4,000 homes. Not only did this tornado tear off multiple roofs and throw around cars, but several roads and utilities suffered damage, and this made it very difficult for victims to be rescued. Soon after the tornado dissipated, local hospitals were immediately flooded with injured civilians, with some of the victims suffering severely traumatic injuries. In the days following the tornado, local residents and volunteers began rebuilding the city. One comforting fact about this whole ordeal was just how the citizens of Welcome came together to help one another out. They provided first aid to one another and helped search for survivors who were trapped in the rubble. The government provided temporary shelter to various civilians and financial aid to businesses directly affected by the tornado. This disaster also helped the people of Welcome reflect and improve their emergency preparedness plans for future tornadic events. So, better warning systems were implemented, as well as a more ideal plan for community response. Okay, this next one is absolutely crazy. It's the IMTATA tornado of December 15th, 1998. And when this tornado touched down, the president of South Africa at the time, Nelson Mandela, was just inside of a pharmacy, just looking for something to buy. Suddenly, the tornado hit the pharmacy and shattered its windows. And instantly, Nelson Mandela's bodyguards jumped on him, and they all lied on the floor until the tornado passed through. Luckily, neither Mandela or his bodyguards suffered any injuries. But in the end, there were 18 deaths and 150 injuries, including a single shop in IMTATA, which suffered 11 fatalities alone. This all led up to Nelson Mandela declaring a state of emergency for the city of IMTATA. The next year, on August 29th, 1999, a tornado struck the town of MANenberg. Out of all the times it could have spawned, it touched down at 4 in the morning. Despite only being an F1 tornado, it led to 5 deaths and over 200 injuries. And it left about 5,000 citizens of MANenberg completely homeless. As a result, the nearby city of Cape Town granted millions of South African rand to help rebuild the town of MANenberg. The last South African tornadic event I want to talk about happened not too long ago, on June 3rd, 2024. 2 tornadoes ended up striking the province of QunuNatal. The first tornado touched down between the towns of Utrecht and Newcastle, and the second one was a massive wedge tornado that hit the town of Tungat. Several homes were damaged, power lines toppled over, and there were blackouts all over the town. These tornadoes killed a total of 11 people, with 7 of them being in Tungat. And speaking of Tungat, right after the tornado passed, people decided to take advantage of this disaster, and there was looting all over town. And because of all the damage it caused, this tornado was given an EF3 rating. All in all, while not too common in general, it seems as though South Africa is no stranger to violent and destructive tornadoes. If you want to learn about Australia's tornado alleys, I suggest you click this video right here. If you want to learn about South America's tornado alley, click this video right here. Comment down below what videos you want to see from me in the future, and as always, subscribe to the channel. Have a great day, everyone. Peace.